Hey everybody, Homestar Rydon here. Just wanted to give a brief intro to this video saying sorry it's taken so long to have the rest of the episodes come out for this Let's Play. My grandpa died earlier in the year, things got a little complicated, but I've moved on from that. I got a new job now that will hopefully, once I get settled into that, have some more free time. And I also just got a new video editor program thing around Christmas time, so hopefully editing videos won't be the worst thing ever, and I can actually learn to use one editor rather than bouncing between free trials every few weeks. So, without further ado, let's get back to Pokemon XD, and I'd like to continue this Let's Play a little more consistently and maybe do a few others in the future. Now let's move on to the next exciting episode of Pokemon XD. Alright, we're back in the Cypher HQ lab. I used a couple potions on Flareon and Baltoy because I refuse to do the RPG thing where I get a bunch of items and then never use them because, oh, you never know when you're going to need them. Especially level 1 potions. It's not like you're going to need potions, you know, in boss battles later in the game, so I might as well, and I don't want to waste time going back. So here we got a scientist guy. When are they finally going to get that guy to spill the beans? Really? About that purification research. Research? Is he talking about Professor Crane? If he won't talk, our work's not going anywhere. What are you doing there? And we fight him, of course. I can never remember which scientists actually you fight and which ones are like, man, I'm just a scientist, man. I don't fight Pokemon. And it's interesting, he has Anorith and Lilip, which are the fossil Pokemon from Ruby and Sapphire, so that's kind of cool. It's thematic. He's a scientist, so he would know to look for the fossils, and theoretically he'd know how to, you know, resurrect them, or whatever the word you use. I find that Lilip is really annoying to fight in this game, because it's always lowering your defense with acid, and it just has really high defenses, and it's hard to kill. Especially, it doesn't have very many weaknesses because of its typing. It's not weak to fire because of its rock. But even though it's rock, it's not weak to water, so it's not like you can just one-shot it with water gun or water pulse from Spheal. It's a tough nut to crack, especially when it uses Ingrain and all that stuff to heal. I just feel like, I don't know, I don't know why. I don't feel like you fight a lot of them, but I just feel like whenever you do, it's very memorable. Alright, we beat this Nimrod of a scientist. Unlike the peons, he doesn't just disappear when we beat him. All I want to do is work on my research. Don't disturb me, please. Yeah, Baltoy can now be purified. He went into reverse mode again, and he's already got his heart rate all the way down, which I think was like 5 battles, which is ridiculous. Also, this seems very unfair to me. In the rest of the Pokemon world, if you defeat someone in a battle, it's like, oh, they can no longer do, you know, they've stopped you from doing whatever you're trying to do. But this guy, he just keeps on working. He just says the same thing. It's like, no, I just beat the tar out of you with giant, well, I guess not giant, but really impressive monsters. You should be running in fear. That just doesn't seem fair to me. Anyway, I'm going to run back to the Relic Stone and get Baltoy purified, because, yeah.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound. Making a way through the crowd.
Alright, so we got our little Baltoy purified now. We'll see what moves it learns. Open the door to its heart. Rock Tomb. And probably Refresh or something stupid. Yeah, Refresh. Rock Tomb's really good, though. It doesn't give a nickname. Yes, I do want to give a nickname to it, but I don't know what it is yet. And so I will pass, rather than giving it a lackluster nickname. I'll look up where the name rater is in this game, and give my permanent members some cool names. I don't, does Rock Tomb hit 2 Pokemon? I don't remember. I don't think it does. But, let's see. Immobilize the target with rocks and cut speed. Yeah, so it's power 50. It's decent accuracy. Better than Stone Edge, which Stone Mist, or whatever it is. Mist Edge, whatever people call it. Which doesn't even come until 4th generation anyway. But also the animation for it in this game is kind of weird and dumb, but also like hilarious and dark. You'll just have to see it. It's a different interpretation, and I really like it. So I'll have to show it to you guys once we get back into some battles. Another thing to mention, I could go back to Mount Battle right now and get some coupons from Mount Battle, and I could get the TM for Psychic, and I could teach Baltoy that immediately. And I probably will at some point, but there's really no reason to at this point. Psybeam is more than serviceable at this point. I mean, Baltoy's move pool with Mud Slap, Rock Tomb, and Psybeam, just a powerhouse right now. And we got a cute little Swinub sniffing around. I love it. And Shuppet. I've always liked Shuppet. I don't like... Oh, what is it? I don't like Bayonet. For some reason, like the yellow mouth, it just really creeps me out. And it just doesn't seem very good. But, oh, I want to show you Rock Tomb. But I think Shuppet is really well designed, and I just think it's adorable. Poor Swinub. He never stood a chance. I think he's so cute, just sniffing around like a little mole. I was so happy when Swinub was released on Pokemon Go. I got ridiculously excited when we ran into the first one. It was just so cute. And here's a Shadow Spinarak. Surprisingly enough, usually, I mean, I wouldn't recommend using bug Pokemon, but... Aw, come on, I wanted to show you Rock Tomb. I was even talking this whole time, so I would leave this all in so you'd be able to see the animation. I guess I gotta talk more in a Let's Play. Normally I wouldn't recommend using, like, bug Pokemon in your Let's Play, but Spinarak, or not a Let's Play, but a playthrough, really isn't that bad. And also, it learns Signal Beam really early on, so unlike most bug-type Pokemon, in this game it actually has a bug-type move with a decent, you know, level of power, and it also learns a decent poison move, and I think like a dark move. It's really not that bad. I used an Ariados, and I didn't regret it. So, its stats aren't shockingly high, but you'll notice, like, most of the Pokemon in this game don't have ridiculously high stats. They really make you work with, like I said, things that you might not normally think about, that competitive, especially if you're a Pokemon veteran and you're really used to looking into stats and things of Pokemon, then you might not normally use them. Also, I just realized Rock Tomb hit, but I didn't mention it. So if you remember, the animation for Rock Tomb, here it is again, rather than... it literally encases them inside a rock, which is just awesome. In the other games, it like, oh, you encase them, you like slam a bunch of rocks around them and build a tomb. Bye, Baltoy. That sucks. You like build a tomb of rocks around them, but in this game, it's just so metal. It's like it just literally encases them in a rock. I just love it. Oh, Spheal learned Water Gun. So, I mean, not that we're necessarily going to use Spheal a lot, but that's just nice to know. If we're in a tough battle and we need a water type... Ooh, that's getting close. Glad that didn't crit. Yeah, just walking around with these Pokemon seems to be purifying them a decent amount, so that's nice. This little Spinarak's really doing a number on my Pokemon. Good grief. Alright, we successfully caught the Spinarak. The little baby spider. We'll say Ariados does kind of creep me out, the way it looks in this game, especially because it's got those two big legs on its back, and it kind of when it attacks, it like jumps upside down and stands on its back legs, and it's really creepy. But it's decent. I'm not gonna use it this time, but it's fun. It's different. It's always fun using a bug type Pokemon when, unfortunately, they really messed up with the bug type. I think it's better now, but it wasn't until like the 3rd and 4th generation that there were really any bug type moves worth talking about. And even now that there are some decent bug type moves, the Pokemon just don't really learn them, at least not inside the game, you know, in game. So just disappointing. And again, I guess there are a lot of types like that, especially in 1st generation. Ghost type was like that, really no good moves. Even Rock type, there really wasn't much going for it as far as move pool was concerned. It's just that Ghost and Rock those issues were fixed a lot sooner. Is this where I want to go yet? This looks kind of... Okay, yeah. There he is! Please, Professor Crane, when will you tell me about your purification study? I do so want to know. Oh, this is the girl talking. That will let me power up my XD001? I so made it myself. Don't you think it would be fabulous? You've got to be joking! I would never cooperate with people like you! Oh, but why? I so don't get it. Why would you refuse an offer so wonderful as this? I don't care how often you repeat yourself. I have no intention of helping your Shadow Pokemon plan. Artificially slamming shut the hearts of Pokemon. It's inexcusable. Oh, you're so mean and closed-minded. You won't even try to understand how marvelous it is to help with my XD1. Naps. Yes'm, Sister Lavrina. Oh, is she a nun? This is all so your fault. Professor Crane is oh so cross because you were so rude when you invited him here. You can't be serious. Listen to the man already. He's been saying all along he won't help our Shadow Pokemon plan. I can't hear you. The plan is perfect. XD1's condition was off by just a little tiny bit. Being off by just a little tiny bit is enough to make it drop a ship? And would you look at the uproar? Oh... Getting deeper into the SS Libra, eh? It's so all your fault what happened every tiny little bit, so you do something about it. And then she saunters off angrily. I don't even know if they had Valley Girls at this time, but I've decided to make her a Valley Girl. Naps, was it? You have my sympathy. What a nightmare it must be to have someone like her as your boss. You put a lid on it. When it comes right down to it, it's so all your fault. Come on, help us with XD1. He couldn't help himself. So I guess Professor Crane's gonna get a little bit of a quality time with Naps there. Meanwhile, I'll continue to fight her peons. Solok. That's a pretty cool name, actually. Probably the first good name I really found. And it's still weird. Better than Apherd or Clur. No Shadow Pokemon right out the gate.
And you guys are now seeing the biggest problem with this game, probably just to hide loading times, but the animations take forever. As you can see, I'm speeding them up, and they look like reasonably timed animations already, even though everything else looks ridiculous. So, since I have better editing software now, I'd like to do some more sped up battle scenes rather than just skipping as many so you guys can feel like you experienced the game with me, but I won't force you to sit through these awful animation times because really no one should have to deal with that, especially when you're not the one thinking about the decisions. It's just painful to watch. So, might be a little different recording philosophy from here on in, but just to give you a heads up.
And here we have a Bagon. Pretty early in the game to be seeing a Bagon. Unfortunately, it's not Shadow, so you can't catch it, but it is kind of cool to just see one right here. A pseudo-legendary right here, just a few hours into the game. Actually, I take that back. Even though it is level 16, I guess I just have PTSD. Voltorb used Screech on Voltoy, and I'm really nervous about it using Self-Destruct. And here's the Shadow Numel. We fought a Numel earlier,
and I mentioned that I used it, and so this guy has the Numel. So if you haven't picked Flareon and you don't get Houndour, Numel is one of your last opportunities to get an early game fire Pokemon, and it's pretty good. It is another pretty defensive one. I just realized there's a lot of really defensive-based Pokemon in this game, which is kind of cool. But it is defensive. I'll probably use, let's see, I guess Mud Slap against it. But I like it. I've used it several times because, you know, if you want like a Fire, Water, Grass core, you only have so many options. It's fun to use. Plus, in a game full of double battles, anything that can learn Earthquake is going to be useful. Wow, critical hit. So that weak little Mud Slap really did a number. Aw, I wanted you to see his attacking animation, because he's like, Numel's really twitchy when he attacks and when he gets attacked. It's just funny. So I'm going to use Tackle and see if we can catch him in the yellow. And we got him. Yeah, there are, unlike Pokemon Colosseum, there's actually a lot of Pokemon to catch in this game, and that's a big reason why I like XD better than Colosseum, because the amount of Pokemon you can get in this is like, especially in the early game, it's like 6 times the amount you can get in Colosseum. So there will be a lot of Pokemon that I'll be catching that I won't be using on my team. So, up to this point, I'll probably still continue, especially these Pokemon in the beginning, I'll continue giving you advice on whether or not to use it or why you might want to use it. But, yeah, I think that might be good for a Let's Play, but there will be a lot more Pokemon coming up.